Hello, welcome to Watan الكرامة news channel. It is 9 p.m. our time for top stories, and we start with latest developments in the Libyan state. Commander-in-Chief of Arab Libyan Armed Forces General Khalifa Haftar issued orders to launch strikes on terrorist groups in response to the bombing of demonstrators in Benghazi. Chancellor Aguila Saleh Guider issued a statement about the bombing of demonstrators in Kish Square, which he denounced a terrorist attack on peaceful civilization on Friday evening. Parliament Speaker declared a 3 days mourning for the martyrs, calling for the international community to speed up the lifting of the ban imposed on arming the Arab Libyan armed forces to face terrorism. A number of parliament members confirmed that the UN envoy to Libya, Bernardino Leona, will not be a guardian of the Libyan people in any way following the terrorist act on Kish Square that killed and wounded many demonstrators. Parliament members said in a statement that what happened today in Kish Square in Benghazi, that consisted in bombing the peaceful demonstrators with heavy weapons by terrorist Daesh group, is a reflection of the policy of double standards pursued by the international community. While the world struggles terrorism in Syria, Iraq and elsewhere, it imposes a ban on arming the Arab Libyan armed forces that fight terrorism. Parliament member Yunus Fanoush called for the announcement of the withdrawal of the Parliament of the dialogue and move forward in regaining the initiative to build the Libyan state. Fanoush said the talks about the dialogue is unfruitful, pointing out that Libya is facing a war against terrorism and war should continue until the defeat of militias and terrorist groups, thanks to the support of the people of the Arab Libyan armed forces. Parliament member Adil Mahfouz expressed support for dialogue and negotiations between various factions under the sovereignty and legitimacy of the Libyan state, not under the UN domination. Mahfouz noted that the national unity government that have been proposed by UN envoy Bernardino Leona was marred by many of the interventions and impositions of wills by the United Nations. He stressed that the Leon intervened and demanded to reject the third deputy prime minister to amend some of what has been agreed upon in the fourth draft. The municipalities of eastern Libya decided to suspend its participation in the political dialogue following the terrorist attack that killed 9 people in Benghazi, demonstrations rejecting the proposals of UN envoy yesterday. Municipalities announced in a joint statement issued from Benghazi 3 days mourning for the souls of the victims who were killed by mortars of terrorist groups. They also blamed the municipalities for the international community and Security Council for terrorist crimes. Municipalities called on the Libyan people to support Arab Libyan armed forces in fighting against terrorism. Air Force jets bombed a truck carrying ammunition on its way to militants of terrorist Daesh group in the city of Benghazi. A military source said that the Air Force targeted the truck between the areas of the Hawari and Al-Qawarish in the city, adding that the warplanes targeting a stronghold of terrorist Daesh terrorists in Sabri district, causing material and human losses in the ranks of the militants. And still in Libya and its crisis, the official spokesman for military engineering department, Siraj Atira, stressed that its members are still calming Kish Square from remnants of indiscriminate rockets that targeted demonstrators yesterday. The spokesman added that members, in cooperation with the Arab Libyan armed forces, are imposing a security cordon at Al-Kish Square for calming it from the remnants of the shells, as well as searching for any unexplosive body after targeting the area by terrorist militia. The spokesman called on residents of the city to stay away from places targeted by terrorist groups. Colonel Wanis Abu Hamad that the General Command of the Arab Libyan Armed Forces gave commands to intensify airstrikes on the strongholds of terrorist groups, noting that military operations continue in Benghazi and will not stop until after elimination of terrorist groups. Hamad stressed that the revenge of terrorist groups for the martyrs who were killed during peaceful demonstrations yesterday is coming. Hamad added that the Arab Libyan Armed Forces are in good position and takes control of majority of Benghazi. He also noted that security forces will identify the places from where the missiles were launched. Sources in Sirte city confirmed that elements of terrorist Daesh group carried execution of 3 people, including a Chadian relating to the terrorist group. The sources added that the elements of the terrorist group beheaded a person named Ibrahim Hafiz, one of populations of Abu Zahia village east of Sirte, on charges of magic. The group also killed someone named Ahmed Al-Fakhiri, one of the day's residents of the city residents, on charge of smuggling prisoners from the group's prison in Sirte. Media reports indicated that aircrafts dropped arms and ammunition to elements of the terrorist Daesh group in Al-Zahir district west of Sirte. Ministry of Health confirmed that 9 demonstrators are killed and more than 35 people wounded during demonstrations yesterday in Kesh Square in Benghazi. Health Ministry condemned in a statement the attack on peaceful demonstrators who came out to express their views in a civilized manner. The statement also noted that this is a covert act of terrorism. The statement blamed the international community led by the UN support mission to Libya for the failure to meet its commitment in accordance with the Security Council resolution number 1973 to protect civilians in Libya, as well as failure to support the legitimate authorities in Libya, ignoring the demands of the demonstrators. And still in the Libyan crisis, the interim government has condemned the terrorist attacks that targeted the protesters in Kesh Square in Benghazi yesterday. Government added in a statement that the suspicious silence by the international organizations will lead the Libyan to lose their trust in these organizations that claim protecting civilians and defending human rights, while they exercise a double standard policy. The government also noted that these acts of terrorism and the international silence will not prevent the Libyan people from fighting terrorism and supporting the Arab Libyan armed forces in the face of terrorists. Moreover, the government called on international community once again to lift the ban imposed on arming the armed forces. My audience, that is a wrap-up of our top stories for today. For much more, you can check our website www.watanalkarama.tv. Thanks very much for being with us. My greeting, Rانيا البليدى.
وطن الكرامة، منبر الحق وكرامة الوطن.
سامحوني مش مني، كنت فرحانة معاكم، رافعة راسي نغني نباهي